I remember when I made that decision 9 months ago to finally give up drinking, right? And when I gave that up, I told myself I wasn't gonna keep track of the days or the months, right? And I felt that way because I thought, hey, if this is a lifelong decision, who cares? Who cares how long I haven't been drinking for? But as the months went on, I found myself being basically thankful, right? Thankful to have stayed away month after month. And I also understood and realized now that it's a great way to compare how my life has changed over the span of 9 months. So in this video, I want to share, one of the biggest obstacles that I faced since giving up alcohol, and just kind of recap on why I'm even here in the first place. So to start, like most people who have a struggle with alcohol, right? I grew up with it. It was a big part of not only my culture, but just part of my environment of where I grew up, right? And from a young age, I seen it not only in my household, but amongst my peers. And so it ended up being a big part of my life from around 15 years old up until last year. 33 years old. I'm still 33. I'm going to be 34 next month. But throughout that span of around 18 years, alcohol's put me through a lot of tough situations, right? Or I've put myself in a lot of tough situations because of alcohol, right? From, legal troubles, arrests being made, problems in my relationship, problems with my health, right? And I'm sure a lot of you can relate, so I'm going to spare a lot of the details. But even though it causes us so much pain and problems, we still, for some reason, look to it as a false sense of happiness and joy, right? We think that there's enjoyment when we drink alcohol. So you can imagine, after 18 years, I didn't just wake up one day and think, this is a good time to quit now, right? It was a slow process. There was a series of events that happened that revealed itself to me and showing me that I needed to stop, right? Because we always think we can manage these bad habits, but in reality, these bad habits are actually controlling us. So quick recap. Last year, July of 2023, I lost my physical business. I had a retail location, Prolific Supplements and Nutrition, and I closed shop, back in July of 2023. So leading up to that point, I was already somewhat spiraling out of control. And when I finally lost the store, it almost felt like a piece of my identity was also gone, right? It felt like everything that I had worked for up until that point was pretty much for nothing. And then realizing that, I had to basically start all over again in my life. And that was a lot for me. So I fell into this very depressive state, right? And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. And I was already struggling with alcohol, I guess you could say, but I began to use it a lot more. It went from a weekend activity, right, to an everyday type of thing. As the drinking got heavier, I began to try and hide it more from the people around me, from my wife and my kids. But eventually what was happening was it was causing me to ruin other aspects of my life. I was making bad financial decisions. I started to show physically the signs of alcohol abuse, right? I wasn't getting good sleep. I couldn't even get it up for my guys out there, right? I couldn't get it up. All of these things, right, were beginning to snowball in the wrong direction. So I really was forced to confront myself. And I believe this is where people get kind of tripped up in this process when they're trying to drop a bad vice or a bad habit, right? Is when you've gotten to this point where you can look back at your life and see all of these problems that you've created for yourself, you just realize, like, damn. And it's not an easy place to be mentally. And it causes this reaction of you wanting to actually escape. So if you do have a bad vice, like for me was drinking, it made me want to drink even more, right? When I would realize all of these problems that I had. And mind you, we create our own problems. And even if something happens to us, even if we didn't create that problem, if it's still our problem, then we're still responsible for finding a solution. Back to the point, when you face yourself, it's very uncomfortable and you want to find a way to numb that pain, right? So not only was I unable to face myself, it was hard for me to even face the people that I hurt along the way. My wife, for example, that was a tough one. And this was my first hurdle when I finally gave up drinking, right? Because all of my problems didn't go away, right? They just got magnified. And the key is, when you get to this point, when you finally drop all the bad vices and all of your problems start revealing themselves, the key is to face those problems, right? And there's no secret to this. There's no easy way to go about it, because you have to go through that pain, and it hurts. It hurts a lot, right? So I'll be the first to say it. It's overwhelming when you realize all of the things that you've been running from over the years, all of the things you've been putting off, right? All of the pain you've just kind of stuffed down, or you've drowned it out with alcohol or other habits, right? Drugs or porn, something that will get your mind off of that pain. But I knew that solving those problems, finally facing that instead of running away from it, that would finally bring that peace of mind that, I wanted. And that's what I've been doing for the past 9 months. I'm still busy putting out some of those fires that I caused, but it's not as painful. It doesn't hurt as much. And of course, there's plenty more that comes with this period in your life, right? My relationships have gotten so much better. Relationship with my wife, my kids, my family, the people who really matter. And I've also been able to step away from some of those relationships that didn't benefit me or didn't benefit the other party either, right? We might have built our relationship on drinking or doing bad things, right? So I've managed to step away from some of those relationships. My health, I feel 100 times better, and I look good, right? Before I was starting to gain weight, I couldn't sleep. Like I said, I couldn't get it up. Now 99% of those problems are gone. My mentality, I'm much more positive and optimistic, and I don't feel that depression anymore. The anxiety is still there, but it's not a bad thing to be anxious, right? Because anxiety is a response to where you can either numb it or find a solution. So now when I feel this anxiousness come up, my mind goes towards finding a solution. Yeah, that's about it. And some people, they ask me, right, like, do you plan on drinking again? And right now, where I'm at, and even when I made this decision 9 months ago, I didn't plan on drinking again, right? Because I don't see there being a reason to why I should drink, because it doesn't benefit you in any way. Or I'll speak for myself, it doesn't benefit me in any way, right? I've learned how to socialize without drinking, right? Like I said, I feel great every day. I wake up clear head, not hungover. That feels great. All right, but yeah, that's just me. So a little bit quick of a video, a little bit all over the place, but I hope this can provide some insight to some of you who may be considering this lifestyle choice, because it's not for everybody. And another thing I've learned is you can't force this on anyone. You cannot do this for anyone else. Right? I didn't do this for my family. I didn't do it for my wife. I did not do it for my kids. I did it for me, because I know that if I'm good inside, if I'm good with me, everyone else will benefit from me being the best version of myself. So yeah, my honest advice, if you're on the fence, if you don't know whether or not you should, I say give it a shot, because you don't lose anything from giving up alcohol for, a certain period of time, right? I believe you only benefit from it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.